All right, AET 15, welcome back. We're going to complete this drawing 3. Going to put in the threads and then also complete the dimensioning. So if you guys print the whole little prompt that's online, it has some hints about how to do things. And if we read the one about the threads, threads aren't a hatch pattern. They're just a long and a short line that are copied several times using the array command. The spacing is 0.1 inches for the large threads and 0.05 inches for the small threads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in here and we'll get started on this. So what I want to do is I want to create a give us kind of a starting point here between these two. So what we're going to do, these are the smaller hatches, so 0.05 right there, and then 0.05. Okay, one other thing we want to do, we want to make sure we're in the right layer. These little lines here are just for layout, so I'm not going to worry about them. But I'm going to draw a couple of lines here. Draw a long one. And I'm going to draw a short one. Okay, then here in our home screen, we're going to go to Move. I'm going to grab this line here. Type MID so we get the midpoint. Put down here. The same thing on this line. There we go. Now we can delete these lines. Okay, the other thing I want to do, because what I found yesterday is that once I array these, it's not letting me change the layer that they're in. So we're going to take and we're going to copy these two lines. And we'll go over here. Oh, wait. Copy them, hit enter. I'm going to specify the point of displacement. Okay. Zoom in here. Put those in place. We'll go ahead and change the layer real quick so it's in the proper layer. We get ready to do this. These are going to be hidden. We'll hit enter. Okay. We're going to go back here. Okay, now we're going to go to array. Remember, we used this when we drew the sprocket, but now we're just using the rectangular. I'll just click on array. I'm going to select my two items here, hit enter. Now, I only need one column. Our space between, it's 0.05 between each line, but we're going to put 0.1. Yeah, I'm going to put 0.1. Okay, that evens them out. And let's try about 7. Okay, it looks like that puts us about perfect there. And so now we can go ahead and close the array. That one's complete. Okay, now we're going to come over here. Hit enter again, give us array. Hit enter. Just have to change the columns to 1. Rows to 7. Space between 0.1. And there we go. Got it again. Okay. Now what we're going to do is now we're going to use the copy function again. We're actually going to copy this whole array. And we'll just move this right over here to our other part. No need to reinvent the wheel, guys. Okay, hit enter. Okay. Now we've got the threads in those two locations. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to just draw us a little line from this midpoint. And come back here. I think that's 1.5 inches. No. Come back here, 1.25 inches. Enter. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing. Draw a long line and a short line. We'll move those again. Hang on, let's do it this way. We can delete this one out of here now because I want to put a line here so I can get my spacing right. The spacing is going to be 0.1. Enter. I'm going to move this other one. Okay. Delete this out of there. Okay, and again, we're going to do a quick copy. Come up here to copy. Select our 2 items. I want to zoom in here. I want to go to from the midpoint of the line. Okay, there we go. Before we forget, let's go ahead and change the layer on this so it's correct. Layer will be hidden. Okay. Then we're going to do the array again. Select our 2 objects. Hit enter. Now this time we just need a single row. And our space between our columns is going to be 0.2. Looks like maybe 6 should do it. Oh yeah, there we go. So there's our threads. Do the same thing down here. We'll hit enter again. Bring us back to array. Both of these, remember, 1 row, 6 columns, 0.2. There we go. Okay, now our threads are all in place. Okay, now lastly, we're going to dimension this. One thing I can't, have not been able to locate the, section lines within AutoCAD here. I found them on AutoCAD Mechanical. So we're going to leave those out, but we're going to go to annotate right now to allow us to dimension. So we're going to start with linear dimensions to begin with. And we're just going to dimension it so it matches the paper here. So we're going to click on linear. Oh, one more thing. I want to make sure I'm in the right layer. Always make sure you're in the right layer. You can change it, but just double check it. The dimension here. After each dimension, if we just hit enter, it'll go right back to the linear dimensioning again, and we'll be able to put in our dimensions. Okay. Okay, guys, so this actually isn't a bad thing. If we look here, this dimension isn't matching what we drew. The reason is that we're not snapping off the center of the circle. So we're going to delete this. We'll click dimension again, snap here at the center of the circle, right there. Okay, now we're correct. So sometimes you may have to zoom in so that you get the correct dimension. Okay, we'll continue dimensioning linear items. Dimension here. Okay, guys, I'm not saying a lot. I'm just going to kind of run through this here. It's pretty easy. You have object snap on. It'll snap right to your corner there. Be careful, though. It may snap to the end of a dimension line, or it could also snap to one of the ends of the crosshatch lines. So if you have a dimension that comes out goofy, make sure and double check that, because it should be drawn to dimension according to what you guys have down here. Okay, so that right there pretty much takes care of all our linear dimensions. Okay, and now we'll do a radius. We're right in here, so we'll click on that. There's our radius dimension. Let's do an angular dimension here, here. Okay. And then lastly, we've got to do a couple of diameters here. So we're going to do diameter right here. And come in here and edit the text. Okay. All right. So now that text matches what's on the paper. Do another diameter here. Oops. Gotta select it again. Okay. Okay. All right, one last diameter here. We're going to hit enter again. Okay. All right, there we go. I'm going to edit the text on this one as well. Okay. All right. All right, so now if we zoom out, we have everything but our section lines. Like I said, for some reason I was unable to locate those on this program. If you guys have AutoCAD Mechanical, you are able to do that on there. I will accept the drawing as it sits right here, dimensioned, and with the threads in place. If you guys have any issues or anything, please let me know. Good luck with the drawing.